Hello and welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land to the newest session of the New Embrace campaign. Now, before we jump right into the action, we have a few short announcements to make. The usual ones on this channel that we do, first and foremost, is open slots. We have lots of open slots in our community for many of our different games or different game slots that are available. I will run any type of game, any module, anything that anybody wants me to do, as long as we have at least 4 players to jump in and enjoy it. This is a pay-to-play community, so please keep that in mind while you are reaching out to join in on some of the fun and action. Additionally, we have media. If you want to support what we do here, but you don't want to go through the channels of being one of the players, maybe you don't have the free time to do so, or whatever other reason you need, please consider following me at the Twitch, the Twitters, the YouTubes, and the Facebooks. If you're watching this on Facebook, jump on over to Twitch instead. I don't know why anybody watches anything on Facebook, but hey, why not? If you're watching this on YouTube, look in the description below and you will see all of those links listed there as well. And if you're watching it here, well, put the command in chat. It'll be there. And last but not least, the TPK Kickstarter has hit their 4th milestone already. Yes, that is a good doggo. They have hit their 4th milestone. For anybody who does not know, TPK is a nice little gaming group, 2C gaming, called Total Party Kill, that create bestiaries and other modules for people to enjoy for 5th edition. They are add-ons, they are not official, but they are very well balanced, and this is coming from a DM who typically hates homebrew things as a general all-encompassing rule. I really don't like homebrew. It's frustrating. A lot of the time, it's way worse than players think. But they do a lot of really good balancing, and this bestiary is meant for high-level gameplay as well. So if you're running a level 14 to 20 game with your players and you're tired of using the same old creatures over and over again, you should definitely jump in on that and get the 2nd volume of it, which is now on Kickstarter and is already fully funded, I think 3 times over. So definitely jump on that. But anyways, how about we just jump into the fun? And would you like to give us a recap what happened last session?
Yeah, I would, as soon as I finished munching.
That's fair. Priorities.
Yeah, and trying to get the munchies away from the pupper. So, last game, while we were trapped under the ocean by a goddess, named Alu Regine, because she hates men, due to a human man in the past who she was married to and then betrayed her. Humanoid man in the past who broke her heart and basically made her believe that all men were that way. We were awoken and told that the trial was happening right then. And Rowan and N were chosen to be judges of this particular trial, as well as Alu Regine and Shelley, the sea elf that had been interested in the party. Rowan was chosen because she's a woman, and N because they are not a guy. So it seems that Alu Regine is specifically targeting her anger at men, and anyone who is not, including non-binary people, are considered her protectorate. So, as the group was brought into a large Coliseum type structure that had multiple rooms that were being sectioned off in the middle. And the boys, including the crew of the ship, had to choose a room. So the party based their choices off of what they could tell that was going on behind the door, thinking that perhaps they could align their skill set with what they were noticing was going on. Right after that, Alu Regine made them all switch rooms. So at that point, the trials began, and each male member of the party was made to face a different trial. Kothar was in the dark, surrounded by different noises that made different intonations of a voice. Solaris walked into a room that had a note that said, "To whom would you like to speak?" and a table. And Gabriel walked into a room that had a large boar in the corner. At this point, it was aware to end that Lou Regine had already made up her mind about the judgments, and made their opinion pretty known about how unfair that was. And it came about that the person that they were trying to convince with the trials wasn't Lou Regine herself, it was Shelley. So as the trials continued, the guys started realizing more and more about the situation they were in. Gabriel befriended the boar, perhaps with some help with his past with Beefcake, and ended up healing the wounded animal after gaining his trust a little bit. Solaris invited Gavin, who was the person that he had been communicating with through a magical journal that Lou Regine had confiscated. And Kothar used his breath weapon to see around him and saw the blank stares of several faces that had various stereotypical emotional states on them. So through all of this, Anne is trying to convince Shelley that even though some of them were struggling with their trial, that it showed their character. Solaris then was invited another person in, his mother, who asked him why he chose her. And he explained it was because that she had always helped him out in the past and had always been a source of strength for him. Kothar ended up being frightened, but eventually used the ring from the crystal one, which surprised Lou Regine and helped him kind of win out of his trial, and he was let loose. Solaris, his last person that he invited was Lou Regine herself to ask why she felt it necessary to do all of this and why she would lash out so much. Gabriel then, as he had healed the large wild boar, it turned into him, and so that he was pretty much looking face to face with himself. At that point, In felt that the guys had done enough to prove themselves and ended the trial. Then the judges went in for a deliberation, and In was pretty convincing and really sassy about the whole thing, which somehow earned them a patronage from the goddess herself, because she was surprised that someone would stand up to her like In did. So it seemed that Shelley was pretty convinced until the last moments when it was revealed that Lou Regine's ex-husband was Gavin, the man that Solaris had been speaking with and had invited into the trial. And it was at that point that we were waiting to see what happens.
Yes, thank you. So, as you have all been gathered into a centralized room, The first three are the beginning adventurers of this party. However, within a few moments, the door opens and the other three walk in. The two halflings and the very unassuming human that you've been dealing with this entire time. They were nowhere near as much of the focus of what was transpiring as the things that they were put through, the trials that they had to overcome were less specific than yours. However, Mickey immediately falls down onto the rug, still very drunk, thanks to Gabriel. Chase, what do you do?
Just going to have a seat and hold on to my backpack and sit there and watch.
So, as per usual, Chase does nothing assuming and sits over in the corner, as he has been doing your entire boat ride with him. Now, the deliberation has been ended up top.
Can I pick up Mitch?
Sure.
Okay, just get him up off the ground.
Yeah. Hey, big guy, how you doing?
Shh. You did well.
How'd you do? Oh, I killed it, man. I fucking killed it.
I don't even know what you had to deal with.
Are you
I talked with myself.
Are you still shiny, Kothar?
10 minutes,
yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
And he does not seem bothered at all. He can barely see you as is. Yeah, I had to talk with myself. He's a great guy. A little sober. Kind of weird.
You should have got him drunk.
I tried. Gabriel didn't give me it as my one item. I would have drank with him. I mean, have you ever drunk with yourself? I'm sure it's a great time. I can't imagine better company while drinking, actually. That's great.
Mitch, I think they're deciding on what to say.
Good! They should decide.
Good.
And Marshall is sitting there, just face palming the entire time. Welcome, Solaris. You are currently sitting inside of the deliberation room.
The deliberation room.
Not the deliberation room, in the waiting room while the non-binaries and women are deliberating on your fate.
Okay. I'd say Solaris has been probably just pretty quiet anyway. Just role-playing as well.
Fair enough. So, hey, guys, how'd it go? How did your thing do? Did you win? You're shiny, Kothar. You're really shiny.
Yeah.
Is this you? Like, this is what happened? Did you get a paint job?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Don't know what a paint job is, but yep.
It's when you cover your body in paint.
Is it like a artistical thing?
I don't know.
Artistic.
Artistical thing. I don't know what kind of tickle thing it is, but it's a thing.
Words are never my strong suit.
Words suck, I really mix them up sometimes too. Sometimes they just... I feel like I'm speaking in cursive.
Are you saying your tongue is getting twisted, Mitch?
Nah, the tongue's fine, it's the words. However, it's around this point that the door opens up, and you see before you is En and Rowan and a Lubergine. And Shelly kind of hiding back behind a Lubergine. Oh, hey guys, how'd we do? Did we win?
You did great. I'm so proud of all of you.
Oh, thank you. That's really great. That was a good time. I got to drink myself. You know that? I didn't drink. I asked. You remember glancing over there, but you didn't really watch. You were more curious about the people whose lives you value more highly. Yeah, it was a good time.
Although I did give him an inspiration.
Yeah, I did a good job. Did a very good job. So,
Okay.
Alu Regine ushers everybody inside and closes the door behind her.
Yep.
Well, after some deliberation, En and myself have come to an agreement that they will watch over you, and they will be responsible for your fate.
So not much of a
Basic.
difference.
There is a difference. Now En is tied to me. We made the
Yeah.
deal.
So apparently, me being willing to be squished by a goddess because I believe in you guys actually kind of worked out in a way.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, before you get carried away, the two half-folk, they have the purest of hearts that I've seen in anybody in a long time. And they can live outside of the realm of En's judgment. However, the rest of you are going to be supervised by them, guided, and to be sure that what you seek is not what man is known for seeking. Two halflings look and go, well, what about Chase? He's with us. Not anymore. If he wishes to survive down here, he will adhere to these rules. Chase, for the first time since you've met these individuals, everyone's attention is on you at the same time.
Who is this?
Chase nods.
And Kothar, I don't know if that was in character or out of character.
Yeah, that's what I meant in character.
Okay. Yeah, he's been here the whole time, but yeah.
Happened to...
Yeah, he was one of the
Chase,
crewmen.
hi, I'm in. I'm the one responsible for you. It's scary, I know, right? And the red tiefling, whose gender is just indeterminable, like holds out their hand.
So what you're saying is, if we do something wrong, N gets in trouble.
No. If you do something wrong, I will know because N.
Shit.
Chase shakes En's hand.
So I'm pretty sure at some point we're gonna have a chat about, like, you know, life goals and 5-year plans and stuff like that. So, yeah. So we're, you know, just somehow I've finagled my way into the spot. I don't know how. It's like a manager that somehow gets promoted and doesn't even know themselves. So yeah.
Well, what a fine day for all of us.
You watch as Alu Regine is just solely focused on Solaris out of everybody in the room.
Notice some tension.
Well, that's the verdict. She's in charge of us, and
They
are in charge of us. What now? Does
Now
that mean we're free to go?
you are free to do whatever it is that you wish. If you want to leave this domain, you may do so. I will have you swiftly evacuated from the depths of these oceans and thrown onto the shores of some land far away. Or, if you wish to stay here and prove yourselves and integrate into our society, you are welcome to do that as well.
Wait, you'd allow us to live here?
Yes. I am a goddess of my word. If you choose to stay, you are allowed to stay.
Interesting.
Well, I think honestly, even though your community here is peaceful and beautiful, no one ever proved themselves by sitting back and relaxing, I don't think. And we've made promises to people that we'd help them.
Then you better make good on those promises.
The first mother.
Yes. She stops glaring at Solaris long enough to acknowledge you.
I have a request now that you've charged someone in your service.
What?
I don't know if you have such a thing, but gods of the past who pulled one into their service tended to gift them with something. Something to entrust them with to take care of the realm.
Are you asking if I have a singularity? Solaris, that name immediately sparks something in you. You understand singularities. They are the legendary objects of the gods of this realm, which are all handcrafted and thematic by them. Each one is one of a kind, and they are the most unique items in all of the land, and arguably the most powerful as well, if wielded by the proper people.
He's paying attention very closely.
Indeed, I am.
Well then, as a wielder of a singularity, do you believe that they are responsible enough to wield something such as that in this realm, knowing the dangers that come with having it at your disposal? Would you wish that fate on them?
I think that the choice would be up to them in the end. I just was asking if you would be willing to bestow that gift, if they were willing to use it. The fact is, you're one of the last remaining gods on this earth that created these. Things are happening above the waters. And wouldn't it be something for you to show your force, your power, that you still remain up above?
Roll a persuasion check, Othar.
I'm gonna use my one game inspiration. Did I roll? 13. Ew.
She looks down at you. Do you not think that this is enough responsibility for them? You know, if I gave it to them, they would be hunted, killed for it. And you asked me to sign over safety and peace of mind for power.
If they are willing. Not forced.
I apologize for not deliberating with you on this end. However, the significance of these items are only known by the wielders themselves and the creators.
It's all right. I actually had a chance to hold on to one for a little while, and you know, if I've already been hunted and judged for what I am, both as a tiefling and both as, well, for my gender, and honestly, if my life up until this point has been nothing but soft and my own way, and I've not lived up to, I think, what my potential could be. And over the past couple of weeks with these guys here, they've actually challenged me to be more than that. And if you're willing to trust me with it, I'm willing to do what I can to help others.
Now you roll persuasion.
I am going to use my
DM
DM
inspiration.
Yeah.
However,
God, fuck.
sorry. She looks down. In time, you may be able to prove those words. But for now, this is not something I will be bestowing upon you. Without more deeds done.
I understand. We need to work on our relationship a little bit, I think, so I completely understand where you're coming from.
There is no relationship, it is an evaluation. However, I will say, should you find more like you in the world, let them know that the mother shares a kinship with them as well.
If I happen to, I will.
He nods. As for the rest of you, halflings, where would you like to go? Oh wow. Well, okay, what are the options? Like, can we just chill here for a bit? I don't think that'll be responsible. We should probably just head up front. Yeah. What about Tanglewood? We haven't been to Tanglewood before. Tanglewood might be decent. Can we go to Tanglewood? Very well. I will send you both to Tanglewood. As for the rest of you, what location are you all going to?
We were headed to Selderon Fion.
I can take you to the shore to buy there.
That is where we'd like to go.
She opens the door where you notice a few of the sea elves kind of swim in with the bags of everybody else and hands them out to each of you. Everybody, I suggest you hold on to your respective party. This would be very harmful if you let go too early.
Anne gets between Kothar and Gabriel.
Good call.
Yeah.
And I assume everybody else locks hands as well?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alu Regine begins spinning her hand in the waters as you notice a little typhoon developing down here. almost a large siphon of air stretching from the surface above down to her hand. And as she keeps enveloping, you watch as it grows larger and larger until she throws it over top the two halflings. And you watch as within an instant, they go flying off through it. And they're gone. Now, this one will take a little more wind up as there is far more mass involved. She begins winding the next one for your party.
Jesus.
It's all Kothar.
I'm sorry, the two of you make up a larger, or the 5 of you, 6 of you, make
6.
up a larger composition than 2 halflings. I'm sorry. Kothar alone is heavier than 2 halflings.
Oh my
Gabriel
god!
alone as well.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I was like almost in too, man.
Maybe. But anyways, after the spinning typhoon grows down here and all of you are whisked away, I need a con save from each of you.
I am going to use my game advantage.
Sure.
Okay.
Why?
Let me roll, Gabriel.
Yeah. Rowan.
Yeah, it's not good.
Gabriel and N are the only successes, as you are whisked away at a incredibly accelerated pace, feeling the flaps of your cheeks shaking and vibrating underneath the wind tunnel, and are ejected onto the shoreline. N and Gabriel go spinning off in one direction, and everybody else goes flying, scattering across the beach itself, and suffer a level of exhaustion.
Ugh. For how long?
Till we rest, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, N was just hanging on real tight.
And very lastly, Solaris, as you're kind of sitting there, head almost ostrich depth into the sandy beaches, a book comes flying out and slams flat into your ass.
He immediately
Take him with you.
pats around for it.
I see she threw the garbage out as well.
I found
The tome.
the black book.
Yeah. And
Oh.
you hear from the wind tunnel, "God damn it, Shelly, what are you doing?" And it closes.
I love Shelly.
She promised you good books.
Solaris stares at it on the beach and is just locked in, staring at it, and does not move.
As all of you are sitting here on the beach, you look around at the large group of sailors and fishermen out on their boats, not terribly far from you. It's very late into the evening, which is kind of odd considering you kind of just started your day. And you can see that you are all the center of attention from this very large group of very well-dressed commoners as they are just glancing in your direction. Not but 10 feet away from you, there is a large dock that stretches across this section of the beach where very well-off individuals seem to be walking across, and you notice 2 blades of light soldiers looking down at you all curiously.
Everyone all right?
Hey, so that was a wild ride.
The one soldier steps off the beach. and begins approaching closer towards your group. Their hand is on the hilt as they are walking.
Rowan shuffles behind Kothar. Sorry, Kothar.
Once Solaris notices this is going on, he kind of breaks out of his trance and
Hey,
throws a cloth over the book and wraps it up.
hey, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Chase tries to get behind everyone and just kind of
All right.
hide a little bit.
Ian's gonna
The
walk
line
like
right
hands
now.
up.
The line right now is Gabriel N, Solaris, Kothar, Rowan, Chase in a line.
And Ian's like, hey, like hands up, like, hey, we were sailing here and we ran into a storm, and that's the last thing any of us remember. So
Roll
I don't know
deception.
how we ended up here.
Oh.
Roll deception. I'm gonna roll their insight on that, because that's a bit of a ridiculous story. But a storm, you say? There has not been a storm in 4 days.
We were, what was it called? The depths?
We were very far out.
To which faction do you all belong?
Faction.
Oh, wait, I know this. Wait.
Oh, wait, we,
Solaris is the only one with a faction.
Factions.
We serve the Council of Many.
and we have
Badge.
friends.
Where is your badge?
Did we ever get a badge?
Yeah, so,
No.
oh shit! I thought we did.
Wait,
But we
Trinket.
we made
Contact-
friends. We were working with the
Contact
Sunites.
Oh yeah, that too.
We have a
And
trinket.
Ian will pull out the brooch.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
or if you'd like to speak to Commander Hedge.
He straightens up very firmly, looking at, honestly, N and Gabriel, as you two are the only ones remotely dressed well enough to represent the Sunites in any regard. Very well.
Yeah, we did some contract work a little while ago with them.
I
And,
will send a fleet out to retrieve your vessel or whatever remains of it for you. Did it have a name?
Jenny.
Very original name. Oh, actually.
Goddamn.
Shit.
Are one of you Princess Navarre?
Why, yes, she is. And I look over to Rowan and step out of the way.
Oh shit.
The soldier immediately drops to a knee and bows.
Ugh.
Oh god.
Oh,
Princess,
God.
I am so sorry. We've been waiting your arrival for a week now. May I stand? His eyes are staring directly at the sand.
Yes, please rise.
Oh, we're just going to go with it? Okay.
Ian is like, has to look away because there's like panic in their eyes right now. Just like,
You know, the one who makes the best persuasion and deception checks in the party. Very
Do
well.
Do not fret that you did not recognize me earlier. I am in my travel clothes.
Of course, we would not like to raise suspicion for the meeting. The other families have already gathered. If you would like me to escort you to the estate.
Please, may I take my group with me? They are my protection.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Allow me. And he steps forward and offers his arm in a very stoic way as an escort. Very formal. Something that looks uncomfortable to you.
Rowan takes it as graceful as she can.
Okay. Roll a charisma check.
A check, not a saving throw, right?
Just a check. Yeah.
Alrighty. Oh,
Okay, as graceful as you can, you kind of just slump your arm and let it dangle in there. It's like an armrest that moves. It's great.
I am so exhausted from the journey.
It is understandable.
Exhausted.
I can barely hold myself up.
It's fine. Would you prefer that I set you up in the... I apologize. There must be some noble home around here that could be reasonable enough for you.
Carry her, man.
May I? And he offers to you, Rowan.
Rowan just sends the sassiest look back at Kothar and then looks back at the man. Very well. In the last
And
Solaris
scoops you
just-
up.
Solaris just inches his way over to Ed. He's just like, this is not a good direction for this to be taking at the moment.
I'm trying. I am trying to think of something to get us out of it, but I am stuck. I am not the smart one. That's you.
Oh God! I mean, we've just kind of like slingshotted down this.
God, I'm
Rabbit
fucking
hole.
with the blades.
Rowan's just like dangling limply, trying to say that she's exhausted.
Which, thankfully, you are.
You know what?
That's right.
Honestly, Slayers, we might want to try and get a room out of this and just fucking run after. Okay, that might be the idea.
Right.
Now, the
Well,
other
let's just see
blade
what-
approaches closer and gives you all a bow. Hello, I will be assisting in the escort as well. I will be taking up the forward advancement. Which of you is in charge? Looks at not Rowan. Everybody else.
Solaris just looks over at Ed.
Hi, I'm in.
In what?
That's my name.
In.
Yes.
Why would you lie about your name? They look like they just don't believe that your name is that.
My full name is Enduring Crease, by the way. That's my name. I'm taking
Is
a
that
Van
a
name.
native? Very well. They kind of like suspiciously glare at you, and you're used to this treatment, and whenever there's certain people who travel through your town, this is how they act. Very well. Then are you in charge of the protection
Yes.
of the princess? Well then, I will be taking the forward advancement. Have your group fall in line in whatever manner they need and seek.
All right, everyone. Usual formation to protect the princess.
Yes.
This will be interesting.
Oh God.
Chase stays at the rear of the party.
Chase is like, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Welcome to the first session, buddy. Gabriel, what is going on is all of you just got evacuated from the oceans or are now on the shoreline over by Sutter and Fionn.
And Anna's
currently-
responsible for you.
Yes, Anne is distinctly responsible for each of you. As well as Rowan is now believed to be a princess because of the ship Jenny, which apparently belonged to a princess. However, as the soldier is carrying you, if you don't mind my asking, they had me believe that you were far younger on your trip over here. The room that we had prepared for you, I hope will still be to your liking.
Well,
Did you say far younger?
Yes.
The thing fit around my neck.
Yes.
Oh God.
well,
So the
take offense at the fact that you're judging my age, sir. Apparently, I look older than I am, but I will say our bookkeeping skills are not the best.
Of course, I apologize. And just keeps marching forward. And you notice through town there are many individuals who are now taking distinct note of your companions, but giving a wide berth as two blades are walking with. over to an incredibly nice looking inn. And as you walk inside of it, you see that there are 3 maids. I'm sorry that I have to do this to you all, but this has been in place for a while. Wearing long black and white sequence dresses that are made of the very atypical maid dress and that have furred bunny ears placed on top of their heads as they are all decorating the entire inn in large white and pink florals across every aspect of this living arrangement. Lace is draped around commonly for all of the tapestries, as well as every fine linen in the establishment.
See, Princess, they were really planning for you.
Princess, how they knew your taste so perfectly.
This is all I've ever wanted.
Give me a wisdom saving throw, Rowan.
Well, I just need to keep my mouth shut.
Okay, you don't end up having an aneurysm looking at all of this crap.
Thank God.
Good.
Do I even know what lace is?
I mean, it looks really inefficient. However, he abruptly drops you down, and you notice that there is a very robust looking man sitting over at the bar, the only other individual other than the 2 maids in this establishment. He has a very tightly buttoned up tuxedo with a pink little handkerchief hanging out the pocket. And when I say robust, I'm saying this man is probably 5'3" and close to 400 pounds wide, with a large, distinctly curled mustache as all of you approach. And he looks over at the blade, looks at you,
Okay.
Rowan. What is the meaning of this? Solaris, you recognize this individual as the local ambassador to Claimstead. He is the one who does many of the trade ordeals across Selder and Fionn over to Claimstead.
Would I know them as well?
No. Your family is a little too low end to care about him. And that's saying something. Your family's pretty damn high end.
Right.
But Solaris being a native, he would understand all of the influential people.
All right.
What is the meaning of this? We found the princess here, washed onto shore. The princess, you say? Yes, of course. The blade looks very confused. Very well. You and your companion may walk out front and keep guard, please. He smiles and narrows his eyes down on you, Rowan, with a very knowing look.
I'm gonna try to look regal.
Very well. The guard relinquishes his grip on you, allowing you to sit down in one of the chairs, and they both walk outside. Now, Solaris, I probably should have told you his name. It is Pimpernickel. Ambassador Pimpernickel.
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 Ambassador Pimpernickel.
Oh, that's gonna get so fucked up.
Yeah, I had to check my notes to read it. But as soon as they leave, you watch as he stands to his very full height, narrowly coming up to many of your chins in this party, and begins walking forward. Tell me, where is the princess?
She has taken alignment with the goddess in the ocean, and she has sent me in her stead.
Goddess in the ocean? What preposterous lie are you creating?
No lie.
No, wasn't she still back in... This is out of character. Wasn't she still back at...
Big Forest, yeah.
You guys stole her ship to
Yeah,
get
we
here.
have to pretend like she was on the ship. Wait.
Guys, we are doing fantastic since this whole debacle that we just escaped from.
Are you her captors?
I'm sorry, what?
Captors.
No, she went on her own to the goddess in the ocean.
Stop speaking such preposterous things. There is no goddess in any ocean.
There is, but so I think my friend here might be a little confused because we just kind of were underwater for like 2 days. So we hired a ship out of Faith Forest?
Faith Forest, yes.
We hired a ship out of there. Well, we hired a captain who said that they could get us on a ship, basically, and we were lied to, and said because they didn't have a ship, and that's when they took the Jenny.
So you're pirates.
We were tricked by pirates, thinking we were hiring a legitimate crew.
So what you're saying is you're outlaws right now. Easily seen and persecuted as pirates.
Unintentional.
I would say we're more victims.
Yeah, we
Call yourself whatever you want. I care more about the legalities about what is transpiring than anything else. You, he points at you, Solaris, you seem to understand what is transpiring. Please.
Oh yes, I'm not happy about it one bit.
So, as you are stating, you are accidental pirates, meaning you are easily seen as outlaws of the estate.
Yes.
Kothar, they have really, really, really tiny cookies and crackers all over the place. Like, really tiny. If you ate all of them, you might feel a little better. But there's a lot of tea here, too.
I will be drinking with the tiniest cup between 2 fingers.
So, as that is the situation, I should be able to work with this.
Sorry, I'm gonna mute myself.
Yes, the voice is ridiculous. Pimpernickel is ridiculous. So, I should be able to manipulate this situation in my favor. Thank you. You all seem to have a very wide skill set at your disposal. I presume you are not above murdering people. And give me a charisma saving throw.
Oh no! Hey!
You almost say that out loud.
Oh god.
So, this looks like the beginnings of a very bad joke. A tiefling, a dragon person, and some other people walk into a bar. And then they become indentured servants to myself.
This is a bar?
Is that how the joke goes?
I haven't heard that, but I'm pretty...
I heard the middle part of the joke is when we go tell a commander of the Blades that you were trying to extortion us.
Oh, you're hilarious. You think that they would ever react to that?
Well, when one's a good friend.
Oh,
This is
fun.
this is obviously a man of high stature. Threatening him with the blade.
Gable walks up to him.
Unintended.
1 second. What were you saying, Gabriel?
Gable walks up to him threateningly. Or we can tell them that you tried to kill the princess and I had to cut you down.
What princess have I tried to kill? Anybody who knows exactly who she is knows that that is not a 7-year-old girl.
Yeah, but they seem to believe it.
Age or size.
Idiots is what they are.
I mean, we can agree on that.
So, I find this going in one or two ways. And he kind of looks past Gabriel at you, Solaris. Either you assist me, and all's well that ends well, or you don't. And it's very unfortunate that pirates were seen in this region.
Wait, there
And-
are pirates here?
Don't
You.
forget impersonating a princess.
Oh, of course, impersonating a princess.
Yes.
That alone will get you about... probably execution.
Rowan side eyes Kothar.
You don't know the rules?
What is it that we might be able to assist you with?
Now, you
Right.
say that they stole her ship, which means she probably should not even be here but for a few more days. At the earliest, of course.
Yes.
What I need your friend there to do is sign some paperwork. That is all. Under the princess's name.
Who's signing?
You.
Can't
And-
you do that?
Or
Oh, I
May I-
can't. I cannot. See,
And
it has to be
we'll,
the princess who signs it. However, one of those buffoons out there can be the notaries of such an event.
and we'll use subtle spell
Mhm.
and cast alter self and look like Rowan.
Oh.
Or Rowan, if you want to, take a break from being a princess for a bit, maybe I could take that burden off of you for a bit.
You want to sign the papers or you want to be the princess for a couple days?
I mean, being a princess would be great, but at the same time, how I put this in a way that doesn't make me sound awful.
You're a bad liar.
Yeah, I'm a little bit better at lying, unfortunately. Like
May
that.
may I ask what does this paperwork entail?
Oh, that's not part of our deal.
I was afraid
Just
of that.
some civil agreements that need to transpire between myself and their family. Of course, no consequences to you and your ilk. None of you are high enough on the food chain to really need to worry about that.
What's your name, sir?
I am Ambassador Pimpernickel.
Well, Mr. Pimpernickel.
Pimpernickel.
Yeah, Pimperknuckle.
Nickel.
Pumpernickel.
You see his
So
one
there's-
eye just begins twitching aggressively.
Mr. P. I'll have you know that I have a forgery kit on hand,
Oh.
so I could sign these papers and sign them well.
Oh.
And my friend over here, who's more charming than I am, could play the princess until her arrival. But
I can keep this up for an hour at a time.
well, and then you can probably nap the rest of the time, or we could switch. Point being, we could do a good job, but I'm going to need to know what's in those papers, and we're going to need a place to sleep.
Roll persuasion.
Okay.
You are
I still
exhausted,
like
so you do
the-
have disadvantage.
Son of a.
Yeah, the maids are standing here.
Aw, it could have been good.
Could have been. Damn exhaustion. But anyways, yeah. How about this? You take my original offer, you sign it, and you sign it in her own writing. Then I'll tell you how you can get out of town so that you don't get persecuted by those blades.
Well, we want dinner. Do we get dinner? Can we add dinner to that?
You can eat whatever's in this tavern. I don't care.
We kind of need to stay here, though.
I don't care.
So that's yeah. It's
Then we don't sign and we just leave.
But hang
And we
on.
tie him up.
Solaris, you know how bad all this would end for each of you.
Well, hang on, Mr. P. Won't the Blades of Light wonder where the princess went after we signed? Don't we technically have to stay here?
They don't wonder anything that I don't tell them to wonder.
It would be horrible if I told them.
Please do. He goes over and opens the door. Please, do you have something to say to one of these fine working gentlemen? By the way, Ricky, how is the missus doing? I hope your child is having a fine education as well. Do they enjoy the school that I developed in this town? Yes, everything is fantastic. Is there something that you need, sir? He looks at you, Kothar. And Pippernickel just smirks.
Ricky, was the commander ever found?
The commander? Oh,
Yes.
We haven't sent word yet. I'm waiting until I am relinquished of my position from the good ambassador
When you're
here.
when you're done, just please let him know.
Absolutely. I will.
Thank you.
Oh, don't worry about that, Ricky. I'll handle it myself. And he slams the door shut.
Shit.
So, guys, there's... You know how I was like, when we were like dealing with a lot of the people that we've dealt with, actually, when I was like, we might want to like play this straight. I have a feeling we may want to play this straight.
Okay.
Should we just tell him what happened and go with that?
Straight as in,
Sign the documents.
yeah.
All right.
That's straight.
We
Very
may
well.
even gain a valuable ally out of this.
Well, if your forgery is as good as you're claiming it to be, I don't see why I would not be able to employ you for future endeavors.
Can we wait till the morning?
Ooh.
Roll persuasion, Kothar. Disadvantage because you're still exhausted.
Yep.
Roan's gonna grab her wrist limply, playing very exhausted hand.
9.
9.
No!
Shit.
Okay. All right. I'll sign the paperwork.
Very well, follow me. And he begins stepping up the stairs, and you notice that he pauses after about 2 of them as he's beginning to breathe in much more heavily and waddle up the stairs even further up.
We could just kill him.
He's
So
squishy.
Gabriel follows.
Literally very squishy.
We could just kill
Gabriel,
him.
you're following up the stairs?
Yep.
Alrighty. Rowan?
Yeah, I'll tag along behind Gabe.
Alrighty. He opens up the door where you do notice that there is a large desk with a lot of paperwork splayed across it. Now, as you approach over towards it, he pulls out the chair for you, and you notice that he has a little bit of sweat on his brow from walking up the stairs. He scoots the chair in, and it's a very nice, very comfortable leather chair. This feels amazing on your back, especially after sleeping in a conch. Oh, this is great. But you just need a sign right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. Flips over to the next page. There, 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 there. Flips 3 pages past. There, 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 there. Flips again. And your initials right there. As
Have
her,
you
of
tried
course.
knocking this guy out?
What?
Excuse me?
I'm asking the DM.
I mean, you can certainly try. But you're in his capital right now. By the way, do you need an example of their handwriting?
Yes, I will need one of those, please.
Very well. He walks past you, Gabriel. Oh, excuse me. Kind of like shuffling sideways. Goes over to a cabinet and begins rifling through. Now, the rest of you are left downstairs very easily. The 2 maids are just smiling and looking at each of you.
The help always knows everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just kind of like oddly staring at these people with animal features.
Solaris, actually, roll me history check.
Okie doke. $16.
Okay, these two women that are sitting in here after looking at them and walking around, they are what is referred to in this land as kunai. Kunai are warriors that are set to guard specific powerful and influential individuals. They are handpicked from the Blades of Light for their exquisite skills and incredible devotion to an oath. They are...
So he has guards?
Oh yeah, they're
Yes.
guards. Nobody else knows, except Solaris. Solaris is the only one who knows this land.
I didn't realize there was anyone else with
Yeah,
us.
the two maids. They look like maids. But yes, they're not exactly legendary. They're just notable warriors in this land, built off of the backs of warriors. So, as you are...
Solaris goes up to one of them and just kind of gives a slight bow and says, "Excuse me, do you happen to have any tea?"
Yes. They gesture to a table that has a teapot filled and warmed already.
Oh, thank you. And he goes over and pours himself some tea.
And there's some really nice sugar cookies. The ones that
Awesome.
Kothar hasn't eaten already.
Okay.
Coffee?
We do not serve coffee in this land. Tea.
Chase is going to kind of
God.
scan around. Is there anything small and shiny and
Oh, roll a
Expensive
perception
looking.
check.
right?
What does Chase look like?
Generic.
Okay.
The best description for Chase is insert generic NPC here. As I've described him as previously, while he was an NPC.
Is he the
Uh,
one that we tried to tie up with rope?
That doesn't sound familiar when I went back.
No, you didn't
Like
try
a-
tying him up with rope. He was the one who nonchalantly kind of just blended into the crowd and even on the ship was avoiding direct conversation, but it never seemed awkward. It just seemed to happen naturally.
Mhm.
They just literally present themselves as a generic person.
What's
However-
the race?
About human.
Okay.
About. If you think hard about it, you can't really remember if they're human or not, but you think,
Got
maybe. It's literally that person in the crowd that you'll never remember. You know, that person who sat behind you in biology, 4 rows back, 3 rows over.
The mouth breather.
Yeah, they kind of existed, but you're not sure if they really did. But anyways, Chase, there is a multitude of very expensive linens, very expensive cloths, lace. Every tapestry in here is probably worth about 20 gold each. Even the silverware is real silver. And the saucers, teacups, and plates are all made with trimmings of imbued silver as well. It's all expensive. This is high society living. However, up top, Pimpernickel produces a small note to you, Rowan. You know how to read, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Some people who play druids go, "Oh, I don't know how to read," and I'm like, okay, that's up to them. But anyways, you begin reading through the note, and it appears to be an invitation to this new branded princess who has recently taken over the title as authority of her family's estate after her parents both tragically died recently. She was invited to Selder and Fionn to join Pimpernickel's nephew or niece's birthday party. And this is her reply saying exactly how energetic and ecstatic it would be for her to meet his niece and to create new friends and allies with.
So, Ron's gonna kind of study the paper in front of her. Mr. P, I feel like we kind of got off on the wrong foot. Can you just, can I ask one more time just kind of what we're signing here?
It is of no consequence to people of your make. Just sign it. That's all you need to do. And then you'll be allowed to skip town and never be heard from again.
What if we want to stick around for a little bit? Can you help us?
I would suggest that you didn't.
Okay. Well, Rowan will try to forge the first signature.
Roll a forgery check using dexterity as your modifier with disadvantage because you are exhausted.
How in the F do I do that? Do I just click the forgery thing?
Yes.
Like this? Wait.
It should It should query what attribute you wish to use. I'm just going to set it as dexterity.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If Solaris kind of like glances over and scans these papers that are laid out on his desk.
Oh, you're not up there. It's only Gabriel and Rowan.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, we're downstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
But Rowan, you forged them to the best of your ability, but your arm is kind of a little cramped after that tunnel that you just went through. And it does look like a 7-year-old wrote it. A commoner 7-year-old, but a 7-year-old nonetheless. He takes it and goes, ugh. Shoddy workmanship as to be expected. Fine. At least I can claim it was her. And any repercussions, if somebody inquires, I will snuff out myself. Thank you. He takes all of the paperwork and shuffles it into a cabinet, locking the cabinet with a key that he quickly drops beneath his shirt that you thought was too tight to really house anything else down in there.
When he turned around to put that in the cupboard, can I look around and see if I see anything?
Sure, roll a perception check. 13. You look around really quickly, and I don't know what it is you're looking for. Are you trying to evaluate the notes on his desk, or are you trying to steal something of value from him?
I'm just kind of looking... Well, I'll just look at the stuff on the desk.
Solaris, is still the same day as last session.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yes, so null and void those two, unfortunate for the 19, but anyways. You quickly glance at the desk itself, and there appears to be a lot of paperwork asking for permission to set up a facility outside of Weldon Top, close to her family's estate. The facility has all the proper blueprints set up for it already, all of the proper filing for the construction of it, the crew and the different individuals who would be paid in order to construct it in their absence, and a full time scale as well. It just turns out that what he needs is her permission.
What kind of facility is that?
He turns and shuffles over and shuffles all of the paperwork, straightening it, and flips it upside down. None of your business. Daycare? What the hell's a daycare? Oh, you mean a day spa?
Yes.
People out there don't enjoy the nice things in life like we do. Day spa would be waste. Not that any of them could afford it either.
Have you ever met that little girl, the princess?
I was around during her second birthday. Her family invited me out to make friends.
Do you not like her very much?
She's a little girl. What's there to like? They don't even start developing personalities until they're like 14.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever met a little girl, to be honest. So.
Very well. Well, why don't I bring you all downstairs and we can set you off into the town? Shall we? He saunters over to the door, opening it, and gestures for the two of you to walk out.
Ron will walk out.
Can I roll inside to see if he's up to something?
He's very clearly up to something, but go ahead.
Or can you roll for me?
Yeah.
I'm on my phone.
You are exhausted, so that'll... Oh, no, you're not exhausted, so 13. 13. He definitely has been very openly shady this entire interaction, though you can't really discern what for or his reasoning behind it. I mean, you don't understand politicians anyway.
I just want to make sure he's not trying to throw us to the wolves as soon as we get downstairs.
You can't discern that much off your 13. Politicians are innately very elusive in personality. Anyways, the two of you are escorted downstairs, where he walks behind you at a very slowed pace. Very well. Excuse me. Looks out at the tavern at everybody else who has made themselves comfortable at this point. You all had about 10 minutes alone. Were any of you going to do anything before this happens?
Anne would come up to Solaris and just say, like, really quietly, you should know something about that book and the guy that you brought in for the question.
What's that?
I don't know if you're like really lucky or like really unlucky. I haven't decided that one yet. That was Alou Regine's ex-husband, by the way.
Solaris's eyes kind of widen.
Which would explain so much to you.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah. And, like, the other guys, I mean, she just kind of, like, disliked, like, impersonally, but she really disliked you, like, personally.
Oh, I could sense it.
Which is unfortunate, because, I mean, you guys did great.
It's all right.
So, yeah, that's kind of how I ended up. She really challenged me with standing up for you, because of all that. So that's, I mean, I don't want you to think like I walked up in there and was like, hey, I will take on whatever powers you give me. It was kind of she challenged me, and I challenged her right back.
I appreciate that.
So.
But no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think that. I appreciate any defense you put up for me.
Yeah. So all that's to say, be careful with that thing, okay? I mean, it's. I don't want to really tell you what to do or anything. It just. It really kind of puts the whole, like, the group as a whole in kind of a shitty situation with what I have going on and then what you have going on. Yeah. So, and if In could get any more red, like they are, conversation, just like, yeah. So, it just, I figured that you should know that it was a little tense up there because of that.
Yeah, I understand. I've been thinking a lot
It's kind of what
about
you're good at.
this. Huh?
It's kind of what you're good at.
Yes, but more than usual, I have been focusing on the pros and cons of this thing that I hold.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived long enough, and I've experienced enough and learned enough to understand that this book that I hold is incredibly dangerous. I, at first, assumed that I could use this being. But I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
And the control I lost while being under its influence, that was something I don't want to experience again.
yeah, that was a little unlike you. And I mean, I know it had to be hard enough to swallow your pride, because I mean, you're talking to someone who struts like a peacock everywhere they go. I mean, I get it. But really, it made a dangerous situation a little bit more dangerous, I think. And I'm glad to see that it's something that you're taking into consideration, because, just, I wouldn't want anything to happen to you.
Thank you. I wouldn't want anything to happen to you either. Or any of you, for that matter.
Yeah, I mean, if Kothar keeps eating those freaking lemon drops, I think we might have an issue, though.
They taste really good, Kothar. Like, for how tiny they are, they have like this gelatinous but slightly solid yellow, like sour sweet substance on it. It's just so amazing.
It's really good.
People from this day and age have perfected
Food.
That's the only good thing you can say about
I
them.
did have a question, Jiro.
Yeah.
Were those the Kanai? Were they around at all back when the Blades first started?
No,
Okay. All right. Cool.
that is more of a recent development.
Yep.
Anyways, Chase, were you interested in maybe trying to get a few of these nice things you see around the place? You're muted.
Sorry about that. Yeah, while playing around with one of the knives, the silverware, one he might try to accidentally.
All right, roll sleight of hand. You do have disadvantage because you are exhausted. You do not quite have reliable talent yet. I said disadvantage, damn it.
Oh, man.
However, unassumingly, and out of sight of everybody in the party, several pieces of the silverware seem to disappear from the surrounding tables around you. Throughout the 10 minutes, just every now and again, good stretch, and wink. Nobody noticed that one, and you have to do that twist to get your back popped where you're just sliding a few more up your sleeves, and nobody seems to be paying you any attention, as per usual.
Nice.
So, after that, Pimpernickel comes downstairs with your two allies in front of him. Well, your friend has done all that she can for the endeavor. I hope you've all enjoyed sullying the food of this establishment already.
That's what we're great at.
Perfect.
Yes, your tea is delicious.
Fantastic. Now, if you don't mind, right in the basement, Kenzie, he gestures to the one who turns and looks at him. Would you mind escorting them down to my tunnel? Noiselessly nods. You
Hey,
can go
Kenzie.
down there.
Your ears are nice ears, like pointing to the bunny ears.
She just smiles.
Are they real?
No, they're not. They're aesthetics on the behest of the princess, as she has given herself the title. So, please escort them down to my emergency tunnels and allow them to evacuate through them. Thank you, Kenzie. He goes over to the bar stool and sits upon it once again and pours out some type of thick brownish reddish liquid into his glass and begins sipping from it.
Can't we just leave out the front door?
No, you can't,
That
because
wasn't
they're
part
not
of the
going to
deal.
know any of you are leaving. Well, you want to get out of town without drawing any suspicion to yourselves, right?
I wanted to go see a friend.
Unfortunate. Goodbye. Kenzie is holding the door open for you all.
What a douche. I'll be level 20 and I'll come back and show Pumpernickel.
Let's be honest, level 12 and you can probably handle his guards.
Let's be honest. He's gonna die from coronary disease.
Yeah, definitely a clogged artery or something. He's not long for this world. He's making it the best of each moment.
COPD.
Create water right around his heart.
Oh, that's dark.
Fine.
But anyways, do you all walk into the basement?
Yes.
Yes.
Fine.
Now, the basement is nowhere near as lavished and bright and pink as the upstairs. However, it is still far nicer than most basements usually appear. As you're walking past several large casks of ale, rows of wine lining different walls, all of which labeled appropriately and siphoned through, as you are now in the capital of wine country.
And stops at one, is like, oh my god, they have it.
And whatever it is, they most certainly have.
You know, I feel like it'd be our due diligence to at least take a few for coming here.
I mean, honestly, why not?
I mean, he said we could have whatever we like, right?
That's
Drinks,
true.
food.
Kenzie
Yes, I did it.
moves a large
Yeah.
barrel out of the way, revealing a trapdoor.
Shall we?
Both are you taking a bottle? Or a cask?
He did offer us food, right? And wine.
He said we could have whatever we wanted.
I'll take a bottle.
Alright. Are you looking for one that's fine, or are you just grabbing a bottle?
I'm just grabbing a bottle.
Roll me a d20. Anybody else?
So I'm gonna see how the maid, who's really a warrior, like reacts to him taking the bottle.
One that is 22.
They just continue smiling.
Okay, then N's gonna go and pick up two really nice bottles.
Alright, roll me investigation. $11. You're a little too far away from the one bottle and you don't feel like pressing your luck that much, but instead you settle on a very sweet raspberry honeysuckle wine.
Ooh.
It has this very, very overlaying sweetness to the tart of the raspberry for a wine. It is a red, but it is lighter amongst many of the other reds. You have never tried this one before, so you figured, you know, when in Rome.
Yeah.
Pocketing it and keep walking. Kenzie lifts the hatch and gestures for each of you to go downstairs.
Rowan doesn't go first.
I'm sorry, Rowan, what'd you say?
Rowan does not go first.
Noted.
In will go first.
No, Gable will go first.
Noted.
All right.
And you immediately try stepping forward, and Gabriel just plucks backwards and goes down.
Fine.
Followed by N and everybody else in tow, with Chase bringing up the rear as per usual. Chase, were you interested in any of those bottles of wine by any chance?
No, thank you.
Okay. So, as all of you have entered into these tunnels, the latch is immediately shut, locked, and you hear the scraping of the large barrel being placed on top of it once again. It is now pitch black down here, and those of you without dark vision cannot see the hand in front of your face.
I
In
will
will
cast
use-
light. Oh,
And so will In, and Min will be like, "Look, Solaris, I figured I can do it now."
You both at the same time.
cool.
And it is
so bright.
bright as hell down here.
Look,
Nice.
I at least got something out of it.
Seriously, do we need both of them?
Is it too bright?
I can't see
Kinda.
in the dark.
Well, I can drop mine.
It is a very, I'm sorry for the word, moist tunnel that ventures far beneath the land itself into an unknown location from any of you, as you do not know the layout of the city. You lost sound? Uh-oh.
So it dumped us out into the city.
No, you're now in the tunnel leading out further
Oh.
into some direction of the city. Possibly.
All right.
So, you begin tracking through. Somebody, I can hear your TV in the background. Thank you. You begin tracking through, and the walk takes about 5 minutes or so down here, and you do notice along the way there are a few alcoves for people to be more comfortable at if they choose to relax and sit down. However, none of you are that out of shape, so you do not require that on your footing in front of you. You make it to the end of this tunnel, which leads out into a tiny little creek. Right on the side of it, connected to a hill. As you all step through one by one, looking around at yourselves and at the very large, lavish forest before you. The oak trees stretch about 40 to 50 feet into the sky, and they are spaced out very well. The grass seems to be a very low cut to it as well, either by very high foot traffic or by the natural state of the grass itself. It's hard to discern for most of you. And as you all look around your surroundings, you look behind you at the tiny little port town outside of Selderon Fion. And I think this is where we're going to go ahead and take a break, everybody. So,
All right.
stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that little bit of a break. We ended up just having a conversation during it. But anyways, typical stuff. We got open slots. We have the media and TPK Kickstarter. It's fantastic. Jump on it. Get all the early shit. They have minis. Who doesn't love minis? But anyways, players, you've just exited out from the very long, winding tunnels underneath that nondescript location into this wide forest. Now, Solaris, you are familiar enough with the woods of this forest to know that this is the countryside of Selderon Fion. You're not terribly far away from it, to the best of your knowledge, although you know the land outside of the capital city can sometimes stretch to about 30 miles or so and still count as Seldarin Fion.
Okay. Well, Solaris feels very happy.
So we should probably bed down.
It is very late into the evening at this point. Though it's early for all of you to be awake. However, you are exhausted, so...
Right. Yes. I'm quite exhausted mentally and physically, so I'm not opposed to bedding down right here. Let's find a good spot.
Solaris, I need you to give us a survival check, please. As you know, if you sleep on somebody's land, they reserve all rights to attack you and kill you in your sleep for doing so.
Okay. 10.
You manage to stay away from properties that seem to be too presuming towards any one individual's location or home. And you pick a more secluded area further away from them, probably closer towards nature, despite the fact that it is thicker in density of forest. It's probably safer from being found by somebody and attacked in the middle of your sleep. As this country around here, as a note for you, is wine country. So all of the land is utilized for the development, the storing of wine, as well as their vineyards and the protection of it. And as this is the one major export, other than military force, that Seldarin Fion values, it's kept very safe.
Okay. All right, everyone. This is, I think, the safest spot that we can find as of now, but let's try to stay as hidden as possible around these parts.
Okay. So, watch?
Oh,
I'll take first watch.
Nin will help since In's not tired either.
So we
I'll
have
take the
Gabriel
next
on first, Kothar on second. Who wants to do third and fourth?
Rowan can do third.
And who wants
can't
fourth?
see well in the dark if anyone wants to. And Solaris can cover the last two, yeah?
Yeah.
Looking
Rowan,
at the
do you
party,
want
I
to
think
do it with me?
in appearance,
Sure.
only N and Solaris have dark vision.
Yeah.
And Gabriel.
In appearance, you don't look like you would. Oh wait, yeah, you're half elf in this game. Sorry. Yeah, you have it. Alrighty. So, watches have been called. Let's find out what happens during the night. I need each of you, for your respective watches, to give me a perception check, please.
Can you roll for me? No incident.
I gotcha.
And Chase is sleeping with his back to a tree, holding his backpack.
Fair enough.
Can I say that before Solaris goes into his trance, he actually spends some time reading that mage's journal?
Okay.
Or, yeah, personal diary of ancient mage.
Wait. Are you talking about the tome, or are you talking about the one with the spells in it?
I'm talking about the one that Shelley found for me.
Okay, the one with the spells in it. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Alrighty, roll an investigation.
Okay.
You are exhausted still, unless you want to wait until after your trance to do this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Let's wait until after then.
Very well. So, that's 4 of the 6 perception checks. Though with people stacking up, this maths out. Fine. So, the evening goes by, shockingly uneventful. However, you're all woken up fairly early in the morning. Solaris, you having your time to read through the book as you would like, so please roll your investigation. Those of you that were previously exhausted are no longer exhausted.
Yes.
Solaris? 12.
Can I use my game advantage?
You have to declare beforehand, but I'll let you do it, but re-roll. We'll take the first one of the next one.
Okay.
No, I'm going to stop letting y'all do that, you know? Just also roll your portents
no
for the
more
day.
ever. Okay.
But anyways, you're on about halfway through the book at this point. This individual, his name was Vaith. You finally gleam through it as they kind of narrate through something that transpired between them and a gloomy individual. Apparently, Vaith, and let me spell that for you, has spent a large amount of time traveling across these lands, even the waters, and traveling to the depths of every corner of Solemn, believing in some insane theory that there's more to this land than meets the eye. The fact that it's so little history has been written down upon it, even though people have experienced it for a very long period of time, it's kind of astounding that that would even be lied about, but they full-heartedly believe that it is a lie. In this section of the book, they are deep beneath the ground, in hidden away tunnels that they discovered inside of the large forest near Deepyard. Ooh, those aren't bad. Now, while traveling through, Vaith apparently met an individual, a blue-skinned elf that was unlike any that he's ever met before. He does note that he is familiar with the drow, however, this one has a bit more of a gray scale to their blue skin, and their elven features are far more sharp and defined, much like high elves would be, despite the fact that they are hidden away and more secretive in their nature and movements. Apparently, he spends a great deal of time down there with them, and as you begin thinking about it, you don't know of any elves that meet that description, personally, Solaris. I mean, blue like drow, but gray-scaled, and lurking beneath the ground. Kind of odd. The drows aren't known for lurking beneath the ground, but being more adept at being down there with their superior vision at night and in the dark. However, he spends a great deal of time down there learning about their customs and culture, and being introduced to their religion as well. They belong to the faith of the Vantindi. Oh, sorry, I spelled that wrong. Vantini is what they refer to it, or the worship of the Mistress of Death, as you can translate it. And apparently they are celebrants of free will and life, despite the ominous nature of their goddess's dominion. And this is somebody that you've never, or actually roll me a religion check, Solaris. Why do I even start speaking before I have you roll? Okay. You have heard of her. Though you've never heard of her as described as Vantini. She's referred to as the Mistress of Ravens instead. And she has one of the most secretive sects of the Blades of Light at her disposal. Thinking about it, you've never met somebody who belongs to the Blades of Light by her faction. Though you know they exist, you believe they exist, you're fairly certain they exist. You've heard about them, at least. However, they are never integrated into society directly.
Interesting.
And early in the morning, you're all woken up by the sound of trotting feet on some road that is apparently fairly close by. It's very loud, with the galloping of horses and different creatures moving through, neighing loudly, and merchants singing joyously on their travels.
It's too early.
It really is.
Ugh.
I'll send Thule to fly over and see what's going on.
Ready. Thule flutters on over there. Oh, I just noticed Puppy in the background. Hi. Okay.
Oh, so cute. So cute.
She is the star of the show.
Yeah.
But anyways, you send Thule up into the air, soaring over the tree line and over by it. Have Thule roll a perception check, please. Thule does have advantage, I believe, in owl form. Are you having trouble with the sheet?
Oh, I'm sorry. You must have cut out or something. I didn't hear anything.
Perception check from Thule, please.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thule.
21. He quickly soars over top of the trees and over towards the road, where you notice there's about 6 or 7 merchants on the side of it, currently traveling in a makeshift caravan, just porting back and forth. They have all manners of different goods of varying quality. And most distinctly, you notice one of them seems awfully familiar to you. This individual has an open shirt with pants that hang a little too low on their waist, with slick back black hair and a very nice dress to them. However, currently they look human. Just trotting down the road, leading his little cart.
I notify everyone that is awake of what I see.
Do you remember their name?
Marquise!
What is it? Who is it?
Marquise.
In this game, it's
Oh.
Ignatius.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Ignatius?
Marquise was okay, never mind. He was the one in town. So Ignatius, yeah.
Ignatius.
Ignatius, huh?
Yes, but he appears human right now. Just
Interesting.
trotting down the road and integrating himself with everybody, waving joyously and just moving about his business. Typically a tiefling.
I tell everyone, and then I kind of get up and wipe myself off and just say that we should go try and catch up with them.
Maybe
You-
he could get us back in the city.
Yeah, in his cart.
Yes, and at the very least, we can trade some goods.
Do we have
Or
anything?
get disguises.
Yes, we could get disguises. Maybe they even have some spell scrolls. To disguise us.
Yeah, because we need to get back in the city so that we can cash this banknote.
Yeah.
So do you run up to him?
Yes, I say Solaris just starts walking or running, trotting.
Alrighty. You break through the forest line. Yes, Anne?
I was gonna say uses alter self to look like their like elven form.
Okay.
And follows.
So the two of you approach quickly, and Ignatius looks between the two of you and just straightens his posture. Oh, hi! Long time no see. Come here! Come here! Wait, do I know you? Points at Yuen.
I have a down payment on Fabulous.
You. Okay, that makes sense. All right, come on, come here. And he like stops in the middle of the road with the three other travelers stopping on the road behind him to start having a conversation with you. So how's everything been?
Interesting.
Yeah, yes, I hope so. Excuse this, but I'm sure you understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, do you finally have payment for the goods?
We're working on it. Well, part of it is we need to get into the city, and
you and me both.
Oh, you're having trouble too?
I don't want to say trouble, but they typically don't like me here.
And Infernal will be like, we got kicked out because we accidentally became pirates.
To clarify, that was not Seldor and Fionn that you got kicked out of. That was just a small port town.
Oh, the small port town.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seldor and Fionn is inside of the mainland.
Gotcha. So, being kicked out of the small town doesn't mean that we can't get into Seldor and Fionn.
Absolutely not.
Okay, just wanted to clarify.
No. Well, yes. You see, we ran into a situation before where I kind of made myself look like this, but then somebody went to like pat me on the head and they touched my horns and they freaked out a little bit. And well, when they threatened to kill me for impersonating a merchant, they drew their sword and I lit them on fire. So now I'm using a different face.
As it goes.
Yeah. So I know that particular spell as well, so I understand how that goes.
You can light people on fire? It's so much fun.
No, where you look like other people, but...
Oh, yeah, isn't it great?
Yes, but see, this actually, though, is, like, no horns.
Aw. Weird. But anyways, I'm kind of holding up the line here. Do you all have a camp nearby?
Yes, we do.
Oh, and you're sleeping in the Underwoods estate. Ooh, that's brazen. And he just drags the cart forward.
Oh, goodness.
You know us, we couldn't do anything subtle if we wanted to.
I mean, he tried. That disadvantage hurts. But anyways, he pulls the cart off to the side and starts tracking through the woods over towards your little encampment, where I presume everybody else is setting up. Chase, this is your first time interacting with this individual. Very ostentatious, very flamboyant-looking human man. And very distinctly, the face is beautifully generic. As if they tried to be as unassuming as possible, but instinct made them want to appear pretty. So, he comes walking up, goes, "Hi, everybody, how you been?" Immediately hearing his voice, you recognize him.
Hey.
Oh, so gloomy today.
Do we know this man?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, I never.
Arthur, did you
met
stay in the
you
cart
before.
last time?
No.
This is Ignatius.
The dress seller.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm the one who sold all your friends some really pretty magic items. Well, put them on layaway.
Yes.
Ah,
And will
layaway?
Yes, it's where they pay me a little bit now for me to hold on to it, to pay me more later to get it.
It's strange.
Well, if they didn't do that, I might not have it next time they want it. And wouldn't that be a shame?
True.
And as he's kind of sitting out here, you watch as he drops his disguised self and immediately appears back in his tiefling form, just sprawling out and stretching. Oh! Ooh. I really hate that form. It is so frustrating.
And you have to keep your tail still. It's awful.
I just wrap it around my waist.
Oh, not a bad idea.
Well, I have a thin tail, so I can do that.
No, I
Who's
don't.
this one? Points at you, Chase.
Just give a slight wave.
Your name is Wave. Cute.
No.
He's mocking you.
Chase shrugs.
You pick up some of the quietest people. I don't understand it.
I know.
You just snuff their personality with yours?
I'm trying. I've been trying.
It works.
That's the most we get out of him.
Well,
so are you
anyways,
heading to Seldarin Theon?
I am. I'm heading to it. I have a few individuals who have requested items, but I need to bring it to them directly to sell.
Care if we travel with you?
Oh, not at all. As long as you don't get me thrown out of the city, of course.
Of course not.
Are you going to get me thrown out of the city?
No.
Are you going to... And he just, like, gets really close to your face. Are you going to get me thrown out of the city?
Looking down at him. I don't plan on it.
That's the better answer. The honesty. And he just, like, pats you on your giant chest, which is about eye height with him. So, what's for breakfast? I'm hungry. I forgot to eat this morning. Actually, that's a lie. I had some leftover strawberries. Champagne was gone, though.
Do we even have any food that's not ruined by salt water?
I mean, it's edible, but you have to cook it way too much. Unless somebody else has something they can do to produce food.
Hi, Rowan.
Yes.
Would you be so kind as to feed us?
Yes. I will cast Goodberry.
Look. Your hand fills out with 10 pompous berries. You hand one out to everybody.
They're so filling.
Oh, let me... Pops it and goes... Wow. Oh. I just felt like I went to one of those all-you-can-eat buffets. Oh.
Are you
I usually
bloated?
don't eat that much. Yeah, and you see, like, he has a very tiny belly now. Like, expands. Didn't taste like anything, though.
Yeah, but it's not bad to have when, you spend 2 days underwater.
Sure. So, hey, what's everybody's business here in Seldarin Fion? Are you doing secret missions for the state?
Actually.
You could say that.
Wait, seriously? Ooh, tell me everything.
Well,
They seem really energetic now.
we're investigating a potential plot for power and control.
Oh, you came to the right place.
Mhm.
Yes, there's
Nobody
plenty
else
of
quite understands the joke.
that. But yes, we're just investigating. We're not sure exactly what's happening. We're here to figure that out.
Well, best of luck to you for that. I mean, that's going to be tedious to do. When I go by the academy, I'll definitely be sure to ask around if anybody knows anything that's happening and send them your way for you, okay?
The academy.
Oh, sorry. Not supposed to tell anybody, but I'm really bad at keeping secrets. They should really learn that by now. I'm going to be selling a bunch of new items to the academy. Some experimental ones for magical construction, of course, for some of their more esteemed students.
Well, casually drop my name and give them my regards.
What is your name?
I'm Solaris Arcani.
Solaris. Okay. Sorry. I'm really bad with names. Isn't that right, Gabriel? Just smiles at Gabriel.
I did have a question for you, Ignatius.
Yes.
Do you have any other miscellaneous goods that you would be willing to trade?
I don't want to pull them out in the middle of the road, common decency at all.
Understandable.
However, once we get in Selder Fion and get situated a little bit, I'll hook you up.
All right.
Shouldn't be a problem. I'll only be at the academy for hopefully 4 hours. I have to go over the magical development of these items and the potency that they possess and the quality of workmanship that has to go put in, and I'm sure you understand.
Oh yes, that all is quite intriguing to me.
Oh, have you ever made a magic item before?
I have not created one myself. Not yet.
Roll a charisma check.
All right.
Oh, she's so cute. She doesn't know what to do. She's like, you don't have treats, but I want them.
Just straight charisma?
Straight charisma.
Okay. 18.
You're really smart, right? Not as smart as me, but really smart, right?
I suppose so. I like to think so.
Don't let him say that. He's brilliant.
He seems so nice. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do something for you. He reaches into the cart, pulls out a contract, and just tosses it over to you. Go ahead and read that, sign it down at the bottom, and starts rummaging through his cart for 2 tomes, a set of bells attached by a golden wire that twists and contorts almost like a coil between the 2 of them, as well as a small pouch. Roll an investigation, Solaris.
Okay. $24.
This appears to be a non-disclosure agreement for a specifically patented magical practice that he has been developing and working on in his own time over the recent years. He refers to it as augmentation of magical items. And he is offering you, as long as you sign the non-disclosure agreement, to be able to learn how to augment items at an accelerated rate for creating magical items.
Ooh.
As long as you sign the agreement. There does not appear to be anything nefarious in it other than if you break this agreement and disclose my information to somebody else, either accidentally, intentionally, or while magically influenced, he does reserve the right to half your soul.
Oh, worth it.
You sign it at the bottom?
Yeah, Solaris definitely signs, yeah.
See, Chase, this is what happens when you talk to people.
I have no idea what an arbitrary clause is, so sure?
Yeah.
They do things for you.
So after you sign it, he hands you over 2 tomes, as well as the bells and coils. He's like, all right, so this one here with the red leather binding. I know, red leather. It's so fun. This one right here teaches you the practical theory behind augmentation, where you draw upon the essence of a creature in order to develop what I am referring to as a developed augment. These augments can be imbued into specific items that I've also patented. You can read more about that in the black tome, or the blue tome right there. And you can emplace them in there to give them different magical effects, and subsequently replace them with other ones in the future. Cool, right?
Fair.
It expedites the process of magically attuning to weapons infinitely faster.
It is quite brilliant.
Thank you. I've been working on it for some time. And out of character, I have been working on this for a very long time.
Nice.
Yes.
I like it.
I use it in my Zodiac game.
It's awesome. It's fun.
So, you need the bells for the transference of magic, obviously. And the tome should be able to teach you exactly how you were supposed to do this. Now, it does take away from a bit of your magical potency, but at the sacrifice of that, you get to make whatever you want. I do warn you, you do not want to place more than 2 augments in any item. I am not sure what would happen.
Sorry, can you say that last part again? Something called and
I
disrupted.
do recommend that you do not add more than 2 augments to any item. I'm
Okay.
not sure what would happen.
Gotcha. All right, this is all amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
And of course, what I'm taking to the academy is just some of these items that will be more easily enchanted. So, don't worry about it. They're not going to know about this. This is my secret. However, I will say that there was a clause: if you develop any items and you plan on selling them, you have to sell them directly to him, nobody else.
Okay. Sounds good.
So,
Fair.
let's go to Selderon Fion. Come on, everybody, let's go. And you watch as they shift back into that human appearance.
How far
Jiro.
away are we?
Only about half a day's travel, really not that far. Yeah, Kothar.
The ring. Is it still that blackened scarred mark almost on it?
There's still a very slight strip of that blackened essence, but it is mostly crystal now.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll drop the altar self, and then use the one time a day disguise self to do
Okay.
the same thing, but they just can't hold altar self that long.
All right. So, you all gather together, head out to the road, and begin traveling with Marquise, who apparently is having a conversation
Ignatius, I did it
with
too.
Ignatius, thank you, who is apparently having a lovely conversation with anybody who will talk to him across the road, sharing different glorious tales and fantastic sales that he's committed to recently. And whenever somebody inquires about the items he sells, he says, "Oh, I sell really fine items for specific connoisseurs." He doesn't openly state that he sells magic items, as that's an easy way to paint a target on your back. But as you all begin approaching closer, you watch as the forest station ends, and up before you is a magnificent visual. You see, on either side of this road are 2 incredibly large vineyards, currently being worked on, and about 4 acres long each, with no other obstruction in sight, before approaching more closely to an incredibly large white and gray scaled wall, ornately drawn with magical runes of protection and large connections and offerings to deities and recognition to the specific ones that the Blades of Light aspire to. Past those walls on the inside, you notice that there is an incredibly large ivory-covered tower, colored tower. The tower stretches about 300 feet above the city itself, probably about 3 miles or so from that outer wall. It has large overhanging archways all around it, some of which are discerned as windows, others as walkways for higher up upon it. On either side of the tower are 2 slightly smaller towers, though at different heights, one 100 feet and one at 200 feet. Both of which have a slightly different pigmentation to them, not the same ivory color that you all see before you. There is an incredible amount of foot traffic up ahead, and you notice the wall seems to be protecting the more common area of Seldarin Fian. As you begin approaching closer towards it, you do see that there is an incredibly large moat and crawl bridge that is currently down, with blades of light checking people in as they begin approaching closer towards it. You all are about 15th in line at this point.
Rowan turns into a goat.
All right. Right beside you, a goat appears.
It's cute. One of its ears is floppy and one of it is straight up.
Okay.
It's her.
Aw.
Would that's an excellent goat noise, by the way. Would have disguise self have worn off?
Yes, it's been several hours.
Okay. Then Anne is going to very privately use alter self again.
You can manage to keep yourself hidden. Now, as you approach closer towards it, you do watch as some of the carts are being inspected by the blades. They are lowering down rods with mirrors attached to them to look at the underbelly of the carts and investigate them, as well as every now and again peeking into the goods and supplies in some of the bags as you're all approaching. You do notice up on top of the wall, that's about 40 feet high now that you're this close, you see very large trebuchets set up, anchored and aimed down in this location. Not directly at you, but in this general area. And there's even a few people who seem to be curiously watching your group as you are walking with Kothar.
Shit.
Everybody else looks non-assuming, except Kothar.
Fuck it.
Chase starts slowing down a little bit, putting his hand on the goat and kind of getting the goat to slow down. So he just drops back. So it's like he's with Kothar, or behind Kothar, but not necessarily with.
Okay. Rowan, do you choose to slow down a little bit with Chase as he kind of motions? Okay.
Yes.
Chase, roll a stealth check. Rowan as well, as a goat.
Is there a special way I do that?
Roll a d20, and we'll add a 1 to it. Luckily, I do stealths as a group, so it'll be the average between the two of you.
Okay. God bless it.
Nope. /R.
Okay.
You almost did
Every
it.
time.
Almost did it.
Is that...
4. Chase, as unassuming as you are trying to be, the goat just constantly, meh, every now and again. It's drawing a bit of attention towards you, as it is like, it seems to be speaking in a way that says, yes, I am just goat. Still showing through a little bit as Rowan. So, you are noted, both of you. However, the line is progressing at a very steady pace, and then it's your turn to approach. The one blade steps forward as a dark brown-skinned individual with a, what is that called? The handlebar mustache leading up to the mutton chop hair, facial hair that they have, and the very, very specifically groomed crew cut that's a little longer on the top with a slight hook. Very large individual, of course, by comparison of Gabriel and Kothar, not very large, but everybody else in the world, yes. As he approaches closer, you notice that his long hanging tapestry on the side of his armor seems to be laid out with 4 golden ropes, dignifying him with some level of position. Solaris, you would understand that this is the wall captain, or one of them. Somebody who is above in authority to many of the other individuals of Selderon Fion, because their responsibility is the safety of the wall that protects them from the outside world.
Okay.
As he looks at your group, please present any proper paperwork. Ignatius steps forward. Yes, hi. My name is Ignatius. I am the sole proprietor of Ignatius's glorious, fantastical shop of random oddities, and I'm here on contract by the Academy. Hands over a few pieces of paper. On contract from the Academy, you say? Tell me, they've commissioned you to come here from Deep Yard, is that correct? Yes, of course. Sorry it took me so long, but I mean, gotta travel by foot somehow. Of course. He begins looking at everybody else, and his eyes linger on Kothar for quite a long time. These papers say that you are supposed to come here as the sole proprietor. Well, yes. You see, the issue is I needed a little bit more companionship to keep me, happy at night on the roads. Gestures to the left-hand side of the party. As well as a little more muscle to keep me safe. Gestures to Kothar specifically. And the goat that's just lolling its head side by side. I am a goat. Huh. Well, before we allow you into the city, we are going to have to inspect your goods. It's just a random checkup that we have to do here. Everybody, please. Side of the wall, place your bags down to the left, and each of you step to the right. Damn cat.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna put my bags down, put my axe
yeah,
there. I'm not taking the ring off, though.
Of course. It blends in, it's a ring, it's...
Okay, alright.
It'll do the same thing.
Everybody else, aside from
Yep.
Rowan, who has no bags, he looks down at your goat and goes, "Is it ill?"
It was a runt.
Food for later.
We do not butcher animals in the middle of our streets here.
Oh no, we take it to a proper place.
Be sure that you do. He has a very strong distaste towards you, innately.
It's fine.
It's as if he can sense that he's meant to hate you.
Yeah.
Very fine. Everybody else has relinquished their bags to the side as he begins investigating them. So, upon his investigation, he pulls out a few odd items. The first odd one, off of UN, is a banknote.
Yes.
However, he notices the name of the individual who signed the note, folds it, and hands it to you directly. I suggest you keep that on your person. Be more safe there. They do not issue replacements. Continues investigating, this time through Gabriel's bag, and doesn't find anything, actually. Nothing that's odd, at least, or stands out. Then he goes to your bag, Solaris, picking through it, and pulls out a wrapped tome. Unwraps it, and begins reading the first page on the inside. Looks over at you, Solaris, slams the book shut, and walks directly up to you. Would you like to explain this. Shaking the book in front of you.
When I when there was a night that I did like illusory script, but then like something took a hold of me. When it took a hold of me, did my illusory script just not work and it wrote what it wanted to?
It wrote in it, as you were trying to write in it, what it wanted you to know.
Okay.
So by you trying to cast the spell, you used the spell slot,
Right.
as well as the material. However, you were possessed, so you did not do your initial intent. You did not succeed with your initial intent.
Right.
However, he flips the book over, looking at you.
Is there a problem?
Of course. We have not had a out-of-town connoisseur come here in quite some time. You look at the title of the book, and right now it says The Judgment and Placements of Mushroom Soups. Qualities and make of different quality, of different fungus. It is a tome of a food critic.
Beautiful. Yes, I am quite a connoisseur of fungi.
Very well. I suggest you go look at Mummy's Pervus. Fantastic cuisine there. And she
Duly
deserves the highest of note. He points the book at you very aggressively when he says that.
Understood. I will give her the utmost respect.
Now, you understand how highly respected food critics are in Solder and Fion. They are amongst the highest of individuals who are not exactly nobles. More like folk heroes. Continues walking and investigates your bag chase. He looks at you curiously. Do you get cold often, sir?
And Chase replies in a very thick backwoods country accent. I don't know, not too cold.
Then why the need for all of the cloaks? He rips the bag open, showing you about 4 cloaks, which wrap up all of the different outfits you have very secretly.
Oh, them dang, they're close. Those that they'd been given to me, and I just kind of wear them, like it. That it, like I don't look like I wear the same one twice.
Roll a deception.
Oh man.
He just continues glaring at you, not fully believing what you're saying, but suspicious of you. Wearily suspicious of you. He does not believe somebody could have that terrible of an accent. Or dialect. Sorry, the accent's great, it's the dialect he can't believe. And then he begins investigating the cart. Kothar, your bag's pretty much empty, right?
I have very basic things in there.
Yeah, he glanced through it.
There's a scroll case, but we never went through what was in there. That's pretty much it's like paper. It's like papers and stuff from the tomb.
Oh yeah, you never. Oh. He just looks at everything and shakes his head, and then goes on to Ignatius's cart, ravaging through it, and you notice every bag he opens up, there is a bag there that he reaches into and pulls out different, very lovely tapestries, lovely fabric, shoes, brooches, jewelry. However, those of you that know him know that all of this is just a lie. The real bag is underneath those bags. And then he ends his search. Well. Be sure to enjoy your stay inside of my city. Be sure to be mindful of your actions. And after your business, leave with haste.
Where is the Sunite area?
Boy, you're in Selder and Fionn. If you want to find a mural to Sunite, look for anything beautiful in the city. The walls were constructed by her followers.
Ah. I just meant where they may be kept, but thank you.
He walks away and motions his head that all of you are allowed through. Luckily, on some of you, he rolled really shit on his investigation. However, as beautiful as the outside of the city was, the inside of it is breathtaking. The buildings are all practically designed, however, they seem to be systematically laid out in a beautiful circle around every location. Everything seems to interlock with circles and rotations throughout the entire scape of this city. You notice the very fine craftsmanship that goes into the roads that you are walking on, the smoothest roads you've ever experienced before in your lives, the radiating sun so shining bright above you, illuminating the entirety of the city all at once. And as you are walking through, listening to the different shops and criers call out to anybody who will listen to lend an ear and possibly a few coins for some things. Now, I will require En and Kothar to both give me wisdom saving throws.
Interesting.
Uh-oh.
As you are all walking through here, the two of you smell the most beautifully, intoxicatingly sweet scent of freshly baked brownies, cakes, and other pastries. Kothar, you managed to kind of like, oh, that smells nice. And however, you are just beelining it towards that store. You ignore everything else.
I'm going with her. Just
Them.
I'm not going with them. I'm not going to run. I'm just going to follow them. But
yes,
I'm keeping my excitement down.
And you are practically doing the Pepe Le Pew float right now.
I'm just going to follow them, make sure they're safe.
Everybody else smells it, of course, but you have enough self-control to...
As he's like pulling out his gold bag and like counting through.
I have 7 silver. That's all I have.
Oh, what's happening?
We'll be right back.
And Kothar are beelining it towards a pastry shop.
Hilarious. You were from here and you didn't tell me about these places? I can't believe you. And it's just like...
You open the door, ding, ding,
their
ding,
shoulder.
ding.
All right, well, I guess we can go.
Inside of the shop, past the counter, you do see that there is a very lovely and very chubby looking halfling man back there, currently rolling dough and enjoying it, him humming a beautiful song all to himself, as well as 3 other individuals sitting around at the only 2 tables in this very tiny looking shop. The one individual seems to be doing some type of paperwork over on the side, while the other is enjoying a very fresh morning cupcake. As the door rings and you all enter in, and the baker stops for a moment, walks over and dips their hand into a bucket of water and shakes it off onto the floor. Hi there. How can I help you today?
This place is the most enchanting place I've ever smelled in my entire existence.
Well, I tell you what, I really appreciate that. My grandma made it herself, and well, I still use her recipes too today.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Please.
Whoa, you're a big fella, aren't you? Oof. Ooh, hi.
Hello.
Morning. Hi. Could I help you with anything? Or are you looking for anything in particular?
What all do you have?
Oh, we have a very large array of different goods.
Claws.
We do sell those. Would you like the apple flavored ones, the raspberry flavored ones, the vanilla flavored ones, the cinnamon ones? Oh, you like the cinnamon one? Okay, I'll give you them. How many do you want? They're about 2 silver each. I know it's a bit pricey, but I mean, they are the finest you'll get here in town.
Special order?
Of course, yeah. Anything that you want.
Can I get a claw the size of this hand? And I just put my hand down.
Just give me a second. I'll be right back. He goes over to the side and pulls out a tray that has 3 claws on it that are about the size of your hand. Well, we kind of make the large ones. These ones are about 5 silver each.
And do you want one?
Yes.
All right, that'll
3.
be 1 gold. Oh, that'll be well, considering the sale, that'll be 1 gold, 2 silver, or 3 silver. I apologize. I cut a little bit off the top since you're buying a bit more.
I'll give you 1 gold and 5 silver. I couldn't shortchange a man who makes such beautiful.
Oh, you are just the sweetest little lizard folk, man. That is so. I mean, big lizard folk. I mean, whew. But yeah. Here. I got something else for you. He pulls out a small saucer with a very tiny cup and pours this black tar-looking liquid into both of them, and hands it over to you. And it is as small as those teacups, but the liquid smells intensely bitter.
Grabs it, looks at it, pinkies up.
And it is a very delicious espresso.
Oh my god. What coffee is this?
We call that espresso. It really gets a jump start on your day, heat your entire body up. We recommend that you usually drink it with a little bit of creamer, or better yet, you drink it in between your bites of your sweets and pastries. It really intensifies the experience and diversifies the flavor that you start taking in. And for anybody who's wondering, Selderon Fion is filled with foodies and people who really enjoy the finest things in life. So this will be expected in most of Selderon Fion.
In is like broke walking into Selderon Fion. This is so bad.
Now, if you still have room for other things, we have about 13 other really delicious pastries here.
Rose puts her little goat feet up on the counter.
Oh,
like,
please, no pets in the store. You are so adorable, and just starts scratching the top of your head. Oh, I gotta wash that. I am so sorry, and goes over to the bucket and just splashes their hand. That is okay. Do
you have anything with oats in it?
Yeah, we do. We have these beautiful things. They're called cinnamon buns, but we sprinkle some sweetened and honey oats on top.
Rowan's gonna try to do a cute little goat dance to get it for free.
I'm gonna say a goat has a +1 to charisma, because I mean they're fucking adorable.
Right?
So roll a d20 +1.
Okay. Flash R D20 plus. Do I have to add the +1 or do we add it after?
Add it after.
Okay. Hell yeah!
I'll tell you what, if you promise to come back here tomorrow and maybe try a few more of our nice pastries, I'll give you this one on the house. I mean,
I will definitely. We actually got to run and get cash out a banknote, but I promise you we'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Yeah.
You're starting on the second Hobbit Claw.
And Rowan, you are handed a tiny cinnamon bun that has oats on top of it, a honey glazed oats.
Just start commenting on it.
Take the third one before I eat it, please.
And I'll take it and just like...
It's the size of your head, En.
And there's like starting on the corner and just like working their way down.
Solaris. Roll me a history check, since you're kind of like at the door watching this fiesta happening.
And I'll drink my espresso.
Solaris, are you there? Okay, there we go. Cool. We'll go with your first roll of 21. You look around the shop, and this is home. This is what you are so accustomed to. You know that it's fine. You know that the shop is a bit overpriced, but you pay more for the finer things, and people understand that. Not to mention, it is a very small, humble establishment that's ran by a man, his daughter, and recently passed away grandmother was the one who owned it. However, the interesting thing about this is Clarissa, his daughter, who's over at the table working on some paperwork. You know that she is a student at the academy.
Oh.
Back when you were associated with them, she was just getting in there on a scholarship for high aptitude. However, at this point, it's been 5-6 years, maybe longer, I think. I don't remember your time scale because you're an elf.
Yeah.
So she's probably working her way up the scholastical career.
What was her name again?
Clarissa.
Clarissa. And do I know, like, I just know that she is a student. Does she know me? Do I, like, know her personally?
She doesn't know you personally, but she would recognize you as a tutor. You know, many of the tutors are treated with a higher level of respect than most people by the academy because you volunteer to help those that need it more specifically. Now, by volunteered, you made a lot of money, but by their standards, that's volunteering.
Right. All right. Well,
Think Ivy League Academy.
Okay. Well, he just kind of silently acknowledges it. Actually, doesn't.
You look over
anything.
and. Oh, do you even signal or anything? You just acknowledge.
Well, I kind of like just look over there and see if she acknowledges or recognizes me, and if she does, then I'll kind of give her a nod. But if not, I just kind of.
She looks up at you, and she has a pink burn mark underneath her eye, stretching towards a patch of her hair that is undeveloped now, and she kind of like smiles and waves in your direction.
Solaris nods and kind of slowly approaches.
Hi, you're the tutor, right?
Yes.
Hi, it's so nice. She stretches her hand out to you, and you notice the burn marks go up her arm as well, and she like shakes your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Been
that's good.
through quite some chaos, but
Oof.
back in Seldering Fion is comforting.
It's nice
Clarissa.
being home, huh? Yes, yeah, you remembered my name? Wow, thank you.
Yes, well, I have a all right memory.
Of course, I didn't mean for it to sound like that. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. It's all right.
Of course you would remember everything. I'm sorry to presume otherwise. She seemed very apologetic.
Oh, please. None of that, please.
So
how
you're back in town?
Yes. I've been adventuring for quite some time, looking for some adventure, some pay, and I've also been on the lookout for some magical artifacts that have been
Are you still
rumored
doing that?
to be out there. I am. Yes, I'm very
That
interested.
sounds so fun. Adventuring? Oh, yeah. I really can't wait to graduate. And I can start adventuring too.
Yes, it is quite exhilarating.
Great.
To be completely transparent, however, I do miss the quiet peace of home.
Oh, it's never quiet where I am, sir.
Understood. How are you still at the academy for some time? Or close to being done?
They moved me back a couple years. She starts like rubbing her arm, like trying to hide the mark a bit, and goes, "Yeah, I kind of got into an accelerated program, and there was a mistake with my incantation of a few of the evocation spells, and they kind of asked me to step back down a couple of rungs, reasonably, of course. I mean, I can't go making mistakes like that. That puts everybody at risk. So, yeah, I'll probably be there a few more years, but I'm still gonna get there one way or another.
Of course. If you ever need help with anything, I'll be in this sometime.
Thank you, but there's no way my family could ask that of you. It's we can't really. Gestures to the very small family-run shop. They are amongst the poorest. They are amongst the poorest people in all of Selderan at lower middle class.
And the puppy eyes to Slayer's like, oh, come on.
Well, between you and me, it's we can work something out.
Sir, I wouldn't want to impose on your time.
Do not worry. It'll be my pleasure.
Well, hey, what's going on over there? Do you two know each other? The father chimes up.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a tutor. Is a tutor for the academy. He was an amazing tutor. There's so many different kids that honestly probably would have flunked out if it wasn't for him. They just, I mean, of course, that academy, they love getting people in there who can just afford the bill.
Yes, it is quite pretentious.
After 6 years, she's gotten a scholarship each year on her own magical aptitude.
Impressive.
He seems very proud of her for that.
Awesome. You seem like a proud father.
Oh, why wouldn't I be? I mean, she works so hard every single day.
I can see it.
Yeah.
There's experience in her eyes.
Now, don't go listen to her about that damn evocation class thing that she did. She is a masterclass mage. Mage looks at her. Wizard. Masterclass wizard.
Yes, all practitioners of magic make mistakes, sometimes quite costly ones, kind of gesturing towards her burns.
She gets a little self-conscious and goes, see, I told you that. Everybody makes a mistake. Do you know, I can't feel my hands anymore so many times I reach into that oven just to grab something without a glove. Everybody makes mistakes. You know what?
Everybody does.
Screw this. Everybody pick something in the shop. Take it. Y'all are nice folk. I like you.
Oh, that's too kind of you.
The goat looks excited. You already got yours for free. So everybody has their preference of goodie for free.
And is still working on that balsamical.
Solaris will try one of those cinnamon rolls.
They're really good. Do you want one of the ones with oats? Do you want one of the ones with icing?
Ooh,
Or do you want one of the ones with the pecan glaze?
I'll get just the classic icing.
It's delicious.
All right. Yum.
While you're all being given these, he pours out a little bit of espresso, lets you all have a little cup of it, and he goes, I've been talking to those academy people over there for some time, but that's all a little bit above me. They're so smart. They use the big fancy words like anti-establishism and stuff like that. I can't even pronounce it right. But, I've been telling them she's ready to move on up. I swear, she's good. Like, you should see some of the things she does. She does this one thing where she gets 3 of her, and it's confusing as hell. I don't understand it. It's just like boop, 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 and there's so confusing. But I mean, she does it like that. Nothing.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even learned that spell yet.
See? And he's one of them smarty pants teacher. Oh, I apologize, of course, with all due respect. But yeah. I
No
told you,
worries.
you're amazing. Dad,
Maybe you could
shut
teach
up.
me that.
Really?
Yes. We could trade. I could teach you something and you could teach me something.
Have you perfected Fireball? Honey, why don't you just jump into the big guns and... Dad, I told you, it was just one fluke. I can definitely do it. I just need somebody else to show me how to do it.
I could show you how to properly choose a point of contact for Fireball as to not be too destructive or chaotic. How about that?
She looks over and goes, as long as you just show me the right glyphs for it, all right?
All right.
Targeting's good too, but you know, I need to know the proper way. I think my glyphs were off, and that was all it was, but with a spell like that, they don't give you more than one chance.
Yeah, so it failed early on, I see.
No, it made it all the way to the end of the spell. I mean, the bolt was... I discerned the bolt at proper distance, 65 feet in front of me. Far away from the tree line, so that it would only emanate out in that 20-foot radius, which it pulsates at. I accounted for trajectory. I accounted for the proper wording. I recited it 16 times before even casting it the first time perfectly. But for some reason, when I shot it, it detonated in front of me. Roll an Arcana check. And anybody proficient in Arcana can participate in this as well.
I don't even know why I'm looking.
It sounds strange. You have Fireball, right?
Yes.
She recounted exactly how you do it, more or less. I mean, you mix your order of operations, of course, but more or less every component that she went over was perfect, and it should have gone off further away, not directly in front of her. The relinquishing of the spell is something that is deliberate in the last command, so it's kind of odd.
Do you...
Sorry, go ahead, Anne.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, so I've seen Solaris, I've seen you use material in your spells. I use a focus. Does that make a difference?
Oh, it's mostly up to the practitioner's... the practitioner's preference. Personally, I like using a focus for my magic, though there are some of them that involve a bit more material.
So you do use the focus?
I prefer a focus, yeah, but of course I was taught how to use material as well.
Of course.
I just don't like smearing guano on my hands. That seems... I mean, I have
that
to come
was my
back
thought
here...
exactly.
Yeah, I have to come back here and work a night shift, so...
Oh, I've actually found a way to where you don't have to smear it on your hands. Maybe I can teach you that as well. However, I think I cannot tell you absolutely what you did wrong, because it seems like you recited it perfectly and
and she says it out loud and is the perfect incantation, like the exact syllables, like it's Leviosa, like she gets everything perfect.
Right. So, the mental, logical aspects of the spell you have. My theory is that there might be a problem with properly channeling it. There is a focus that you wield, yes, but your body and your, how do I put it, essence is also a focus. Fireball is an incredibly powerful and chaotic spell. So, if you can't channel that properly, it will detonate chaotically.
I'm an evocation specialist. Fireball's supposed to be something I can do naturally.
Well, maybe there's something blocking it. That's just a theory. Think on it.
I will. Thank you.
Of course.
And you see her father just smiling, not understanding a single word you are saying. Just smiling with pride.
Can I want to see if In can work on it too, because In is an innate spellcaster, so they would understand the, if the intelligence side of it's right, then the other side of it's not.
Are you proficient in Arcana? That's where the issue comes in. This is the theory crafting of magic.
The theory, yeah.
Yeah, not the theory crafting, but the theory and application of magic. I mean, it's kind of like going over physics and the different theorems of physics. I mean, anybody understands, basic physics and stuff like that, but not everybody understands string theory. It's that level of difference. Like, it is, oh yeah, totally, I can those words. Okay, sure.
Okay, yeah, because In was like, if it was just like the feeling aspect of it, that's how In casts, so.
Unfortunately, they are an intelligent caster.
Yeah.
So, while you are all having this conversation, Ignatius has come by. Hey, everybody. Sorry. Hi, everybody. Just to let you all know, I'm going to be heading over to the job that I'm doing. Oh, aren't you cute as a button? It just, pokes her on the nose. Oh, that's adorable. Love what you did. But I hope to see you all tonight, okay? You know where to find me, right?
No.
Slides next to you, Solaris. What is the raciest bar in all of town?
What is the raciest bar in all?
It's called the Cats and the Cradle.
Okay. Well, I
It
relinquished
is
that
a
info.
burlesque establishment.
Okay.
I'll see you there. And he just
on
scurries
that.
away. As he's running by Kothar, you're being served your second espresso, and he just takes it from the table and chugs and goes.
About to rage.
However, now, would you like to set up a time to do some tutoring with her? A potential. I mean, I can totally look at my budget and see if anything will work. I mean, I've never seen her this excited to talk to a professor or a tutor or whatever she considers you.
Please, yes, absolutely.
Sure. What are your going
I
rates?
can definitely. Let's say this. How about this? We make the first session free, and from there, if we want to continue, we can work something out.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to that. That sounds perfectly fair to me. But, just let me be aware of the rates, because I got to balance the books a little bit. I mean, I don't know if you charge, like 5 gold a session, or maybe 10 gold a session. Just let me know what it is, and I'll see what I can't do. And you see that she turns bright red. As you know, your sessions are typically about 250 gold each.
Yeah. Yes, I do not tell him that, and I say yes. I have not practiced in a while, and let me get some numbers together. I'll let you know, but let's just start with a free session.
All right. How's tomorrow do for you?
Sounds all right to me.
She'll be up bright and early. Yeah, my first class starts at 10 a.m., so, I mean, anytime before then, I'd be fine.
All right. Well, I'll
Would
be
you like
here
to meet me at the academy?
Oh, yes. I could meet you there as well.
It's awesome. She seems super getting excited now.
All right.
Oh, that's
Well,
great.
I expect you to bring your A game.
Mm-hmm. So she starts flipping through her book, and you notice she flips forward in her book by, 6 or 7 pages and begins recanting everything about Fireball, trying to figure out what it is she did wrong before the actual class. She's incredibly motivated and studious, which is something you're not used to for most of your students. Most of the time, they're not motivated.
She's a special one.
However, you all head back out into the streets, and I believe, N, you have a little note to deposit.
Yes.
Now,
Where is the bank, Solaris? Because I am broke. And I want to go to this club.
We can go there together. I would like to do some shopping, so.
So, you're about 3 blocks or so away from the bank itself. You make it there very quickly. And the large-scale establishment is based out of a thick, white-colored wood with a blackened entracing and etching around all of the intricate pieces of this incredibly nice building. As you approach closer towards it, and you feel your magic starting to wane off of you.
Okay, so I'll find
Not from the time, but innately.
Yeah, I'll find a place to drop it discreetly.
No. As you approach closer, you go to the alleyway and it falls completely. Then you go back over towards the building. You do note that there are 3 large standing individuals out front, all plaided in fairly flexible light elven armor with these purple etched blades. Hand on the hilt, just watching, in a static pose and position. Solaris, you know this is very standard issue. When they don't recognize people, they are constantly on guard, as they are the security for this establishment. However, as you are walking up, you are stopped by them. The one steps forward. What business do you have here?
I have a deposit to make.
They look at the note, step back, wordlessly allowing you to cross inside. Is anybody else going with them?
Yeah, I'll go in too.
I'm gonna stay outside of the bank.
Yeah, Rowan's gonna stay outside as a goat.
Chase? Gabriel? Alrighty, the 2 of you stay outside as well. Oh, you're muted, Chase.
Yeah, I'm staying outside. I'm not.
Alright.
I'll hang out across the street or something.
Cool. Now, N, as you walk inside, this building is far larger than you would have expected. The inside of it is laced in this beautiful sequence of gold and silver and platinum all around you. There's an overhanging blindfolded woman who seems to just float at the top of it, holding 2 large scales with coins constantly pouring into them and floating in an ever-lying cycle back on top of it. You do notice that as some type of illusionary, flavorful work, but it is still by far the most ostentatious thing you've experienced before in your life, and that's coming from you.
So how the fuck did you end up in Umbridge?
I went for the lights. That's pretty much it.
Leaving this to go look at the lights?
Well, yes. Of course.
Now, as you're gawking at that, you hear echoing through the entirety of this area are a set of heels approaching towards you, wearing a very long, formal, white-looking dress that envelops most of her body, and with a tight ponytail at the top of her hair going straight down, with a red-colored hair, but a very pep and formal appearance. She walks directly up to the 2 of you and bows. Hello. Is there something that you need help with today?
Hi, yes, I need to cash a banknote, please.
Very well. May I? You hand it over, and she turns it, doesn't even hesitate once reading it, wraps it around her 2 fingers. And your mark, please.
I would know what that is, right?
A mark of notability. So something that says, I am this person. She's asking for your ID.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I would have.
A family ring, family documentation, anything like that. Considering who your father is, you would probably have one.
Okay, well, actually, I'll just say it's on the back of the of my arcane focus, and so I'll take the bracelet, and there's like a ring, and then there's a stone in the middle, so I'll take that off and show her the back of it with Syed on it.
She looks at it, looks at the note. Very well, Master Syed. Hands it back to you. Please follow me. She walks very loudly, and you notice both of your footsteps are echoing just as loud in this chamber. And you notice there's a few side tables, but they seem out of focus as you look at them. Kind of like the longer you try peering at them, the harder it is to see over on the sides. And the bank teller brings you over to the back table, where upon sitting down, she gestures for the two of you to sit as well. So, this fund, are you looking for a transfer from one account to the other, or would you like it as a direct payout?
A direct payout. And
very well. May I ask you, what is the intent with this larger than average sum of finance that you are looking for?
It's our first time in Selderon Fion, so we would be
to enhance a lavished experience, perhaps?
Yes.
She seems to be checking things off on a list. Very well. And of course, would you like to place any donations to any of the marvelous services that Selderon Fion or any of the charities in the local area would greatly appreciate as well? We have a multitude of them currently available as well.
Do you have any that are directed towards orphanages?
We do. We have the Kinship Alley, as it is referred to, if that one piques your interest. Children whose families have been overrun and killed by the savages of the Outlands, and who are now homeless and seeking refugee. The establishment, as is noted here on this paper, has been solely funded by a single proprietor through all of their adventuring funds. However, in recent times, require a bit more to finance for the number of people they have. Now, if you are hesitant about the donation, you are welcome to go investigate the facility first, and then make your decision.
I think so. I think, to see if there might be an individual child there that might need the most help or something.
Very well. She writes an address on a piece of paper and hands it over to you, Em.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, are you their partner? Looks at you, Solaris.
I'm just accompanying her.
Them.
Them, sorry.
Hey, it's fine. That's why I keep saying it. We'll get there. Very well. So, the complete sum of, what was that number?
It was 1,500, I think.
Oh, it's not too bad. The complete sum of 1,500 gold. She reaches underneath the table and you hear tick, 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 constantly ticking into a bag as she... No, it wouldn't be a bag, it'd be a small chest. Takes a small chest, hands it over the table, and pushes it closer to the two of you. If you would like to take the time to count it, feel free to do so.
Sure. Oh, Solaris, would you mind doing that? I do have one
Sure.
question for you also.
Yes, of course.
Just curious, my father tends to do this when I'm traveling. Has any funds been set aside for in Syed?
She stands up. Excuse me. and leaves you two alone for a few moments.
And I'll help count. Solaris, I just wanted to ask that as well.
Roll an investigation, Solaris, with advantage.
Okay, 1 second. There we go.
What'd you get?
26.
They gave you precisely the amount of gold that you were meant to receive.
All right. It's all here.
However, after you're done that, she comes walking back. Down goes the water bottle. Damn cats. But anyways. As she comes back, she does have a small note and goes, yes, it appears that a fund has been started for you, for general expenditures while traveling and finer quality partying as the special note.
It sounds like
You can tell it pained her to say that. Would you like to take that fund as well?
Yes, please.
That's an additional 60 gold. Your father's not that rich.
No, I know, but still, 60 helps.
Yeah, your dad's like upper middle class at best.
It helps, man.
Yeah.
In was feeling the pinch.
Yeah. So she relinquishes that and passes it over to you in a smaller bag. Goes, very well. Now, your note has been properly disposed of already, and the transaction has been listed on your account personally. If there's anything else that you require, please do not hesitate to come back and ask.
I appreciate your help. Thank you so very much. You've been wonderful.
It is my pleasure. And you notice her name tag that does say Janet. I'm sorry, anybody out there named Janet. It's the name. But anyways, those of you out front of the establishment, you've been standing there for about half an hour now.
Goat Rowan's gonna trot over to Chase, just look up at him, and go.
Chase, roll insight. 10. You're not sure what they're trying to tell you or how important it is.
Is there anybody like watching us?
Yes, the 3 guards out front are staring directly at you. They're not approaching. They have not moved a muscle.
But anybody like anywhere else? Like,
oh, roll a perception check.
Yeah. Perception. 15.
Kothar, you're being watched by many of the denizens here inside of Seldarin Fion. Maybe not like standing gawk level of watching, but definitely about to gain whiplash from looking behind them at you.
Awkward.
Very. However, the half hour goes by. Ed and Solaris walk out carrying a chest.
And Anne is going to split the 60 that was from their dad with Gabriel paying him back for the 30 gold that he bet. That was bet.
Thank you.
As a note, one of the guards out front is following directly behind you, N. And I mean like within 3 feet of you, behind you.
It'll turn. Hi. Is there something that you need?
No. But I was given the order to escort you to your establishment to ensure the safety of your gold until it is no longer our responsibility.
I see. Is there an inn or a hotel nearby that is comfortable, but not, too much?
Is the Cat in the Cradle an inn?
Um, it is an establishment
been there
with
before?
lodging and no, I have not.
You've never once indulged in anything like that?
No, I have not.
Of course not. That would be something that a man of the cloth would never want to, partake in.
Oh,
But gosh, I hear it's just great.
noted.
Mm-hmm.
He seems very uncomfortable with your line of questioning.
Do you want to come with us?
I will escort you to your discerned establishment.
That's a
as
yes.
Is my duty.
You know what? You don't have to act like it's because your job. You have to come with us. You can just say you want to hang out and come to this place.
Roll a persuasion check, Gothar.
19.
Damn.
The slightest curl of a smile breaks and then immediately gets shut back down. Whatever pleases your group.
What is your name, by the way? Gary. Listen, Gary. I don't even know what your name is, but I like Gary.
Gary will do fine.
I put an arm around Gary.
And he seems very like he was about to draw his weapon, but he's doing his job. Sheaths it, and
Gary,
he is small
Gary.
by comparison with you.
Gary, it'll be fine.
Mhm.
We'll have a grand time, just like gesturing towards the sky.
Very well. So are you all heading to the Cats in the Cradle?
Yeah.
What is that place?
Actually, Rowan... No, it's a burlesque club. It's much higher class than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nobody shows anything too private, but they show everything else. So, as you are approaching closer, Rowan, your B-shaped form ends, and you're just walking normally by everybody. A few people in town are very freaked the fuck out because a goat just turned into a lady.
Shit
However,
happens.
weirder shit does happen. Now, as you continue walking through, you make it over to a very lavish-looking, very high class to the naked eye establishment with fine velvets lining the walls, and the outside is adorned with lavender to add different scents and fragrances to the area. And Solaris, you both know that this is very tacky. Everybody else, though, or Chase, you would also know that this is tacky. Everyone else, though, this is really nice. And as you are walking in, you do see there are individuals lining the walls, all dressed nice by their standards, and watching a fantastical show of performers doing fantastic jobs of dancing, singing, playing instruments, and showing just enough to keep people interested in what's going on if they're not culturally attuned to the situation.
I might be able to get us a room for free.
Gary, my man, you were holding out.
I would never do such things, and he's just gawking wildly at one of the men walking by. Oh, did I not mention this was a men's only burlesque club?
Jero.
Gary, lift your jaw.
It's Ignatius we're talking about here.
Shh, Gary, it'll be fun. Don't worry.
And I think this is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yeah.
Hopefully
nice.
next session you can actually meet Chase. Oh, that was a fun one. All right, everybody.
Get him drunk at the gay burlesque bar.
Yeah.
Sorry you didn't get a whole lot of roleplay opportunity, Chase, but welcome to the game nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed yourself, man.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Thank you. It was
Good,
awesome.
of course. Alrighty.
Good to have you.
Yeah, definitely. We like having the
Yeah.
6th seat filled finally. It's so much nicer. Diversifies the roleplay. But players, thank you for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. I hope you all had a fantastic time. Goodbye.